Good morning, mates. Today is Saturday, September 19th, 2020. And right now, I am at my favorite preserve in the area. It is known as the Clifton Gorge State Nature Preserve. Now, I had to say it in an accent because I'm like giddy as a schoolboy right now. I am literally at the place that I love to go to. I mean, for each of us that have a happy place, this is one of my happy places. You know, this preserve was one of the main reasons as to why I even chose to, study at Wittenberg University. And I have volunteered here in the past, but due to, COVID measures, the volunteering opportunities have been quite a bit limited. And with my internship going on, that's kind of been taking up more of my time. But I'll say it once, I'll say it again. It's rather gorgeous. But yeah, I've done videos of this place, of course, in the past, but I'm going to try to go a bit deeper. Alright, so this particular section right here is actually called the Niagara Escarpment. And it's called that because the strata that's down there is similar to that of Niagara Falls that borders New York State and Canada. And you might be wondering, what exactly is the strata that is down here? Well, alright. So first, like this top layer right here, you're looking at the Cedarville dolomite, which is actually very resistant to erosion. So then you get into sort of like that middle layer, and that gets into the Springfield dolomite, which is slightly softer in terms of hardness. Then you get down even further, so you figure you actually get down into the gorge, and that's where you'll run into the Euphemia dolomite. But this particular section remains narrow because it hasn't more or less penetrated into the Osgood Shale, which is even further down. And Osgood Shale is actually very erosive. But shale, so due to the fact that there is shale, that's a telltale sign that at one point there were deep marine waters. So that's where shale typically forms. But then, over thousands of years, going into the Silurian period, so approximately 450 to 420 million years ago, that's where it gets into the dolomite. And typically, and since dolomite's a type of limestone, that indicated that there were shallow marine areas. But wow, I am I'm so happy. But yeah, so then as you go further down along the trail and actually go into the gorge will actually widen quite a bit. And that is the case because the water has been able to penetrate into the Osgood Shale. So eventually the gorge will widen, but this particular section is called the Narrows. So you might be curious as to how Clifton Gorge was even created. Well, so this river has existed for a long time, over 20 or so thousand years. But eventually, as we were getting into the Wisconsin age, so approximately 15 or so thousand years ago, we had glaciation in this area. And there's an interesting feature that's actually in the town of Bellefontaine called the Bellefontaine Outlier. And basically, that was a patch of land that's so elevated, I mean, it's actually the highest point in Ohio, that section was not under the glaciers. So essentially, the glacier split into two lobes, which became known as the Miami and the Scioto lobes. So eventually, as the glaciers retreated, so you had all that meltwater, that created something called the Kennard Outwash Terrace, which is a common feature after glaciers recede. That's basically where, well, all the sediments are deposited, where the water will be carried. And so as a result, that water was able to reach this area, because Bellefontaine is about 40 to 50 miles to the north of here. So that water eventually traveled all the way here, and thus it resulted in the creation of the Little Miami River that you see ahead of you. And that glaciation from the past also created the Scioto River. So this place is awesome, because it just tells you so much about the history of this section of Ohio. You know, just proving the fact that glaciation indeed happened here, and also the fact that, you know, shallow marine seas were here as well during Silurian times. So due to all those properties, that's what helps give us all this diversity of the different types of trees and the plants. So, yeah. I'm going to share this with a couple of groups. So, for those of you who don't know about my page, this is one of the main reasons as to why I have my page called Journey on a Journey. Because I want to educate about the geological history, just anything related to the natural world. So, alrighty. I thought I would share that with you guys. Hope you learned something in this video. I mean, you can tell I really love this place because I know so much about it. And I also have volunteered here many times. So, alright. Hope all of you get to enjoy your Saturday. And forgive me that this video is a little long, but I had a lot of information that I had to try to condense. So, alright. Y'all take care, and Journey on a Journey is out.